The routine mission Captain Maya Chen had seen enough asteroid fields to know when something was different. The harvest moon drifted through the rock-strewn darkness of the Kepler 442 system, its mining arrays scanning for the precious metals that kept Earth's expanding colonies supplied. Maya had been running mining operations for 12 years, and she'd never seen readings like these. "Rodriguez, what's the composition analysis on asteroid cluster 7? She called to her communications engineer, who doubled as their mineral specialist on these deep space runs. Engineer Rodriguez looked up from his console, dark eyes reflecting the blue glow of the scanner displays. "Captain, you're not going to believe this. We're looking at pure trilithium deposits, maybe 60% purity, and that's not even the best part." He paused, fingers dancing across his keyboard. "There's something else mixed in. The computer can't identify it, but it's giving off energy. Signatures I've never seen before." Dr. Elena Busquets, their xenobiologist, leaned forward from her station. Her job was usually to make sure they didn't accidentally mine through any alien artifacts. But this discovery had caught her attention, too. "Captain, I've been monitoring the energy patterns from that unknown material. It's not random. There's structure to it, almost like it's designed to resonate at specific frequencies." Maya felt that familiar tingle of excitement that came with a major discovery. These deep space mining runs were usually routine, boring even. 6 months of floating through empty space, harvesting rocks, and heading home. But this could be the find that changed everything. "How much are we talking about?" "Conservative estimate," Rodriguez grinned. "Enough to fund 10 new colony ships. Maybe more if this mystery material is what I think it might be." The Harvest Moon was a mid-sized mining vessel, nothing fancy but reliable. Maya's crew of 43 had been working together for 3 years, long enough to trust each other completely. They'd been through solar storms, equipment failures, and the occasional pirate encounter, but nothing had prepared them for what they were about to unleash. Commander Singh, their Earth Defense Force liaison, had been quiet during the morning briefing. He was a career military man, assigned to mining operations to watch for any signs of hostile alien activity. In 12 years of mining, Maya had never encountered anything more dangerous than a malfunctioning mining laser. "Captain," Singh said, his voice carrying the weight of authority, "I need to remind you of protocol. Any unknown materials require full documentation before extraction." "Understood, Commander." Maya nodded. She'd worked with enough military liaisons to know when to pick her battles. "Dr. Vasquez, I want a complete analysis of that energy signature." Rodriguez prepped the mining drones for a careful extraction. "Let's see what we're dealing with." The crew moved with practiced efficiency. Mining drones deployed from the Harvest Moon's belly, their mechanical arms extending toward the asteroid cluster. Maya watched from the bridge as her team worked, unaware that their discovery would soon echo across the galaxy in ways they could never imagine. The technical malfunction 3 days into the extraction process. The first signs of trouble began. The mysterious material they'd discovered wasn't just energetic, it was actively interfering with their equipment. The mining drones started experiencing random shutdowns, their circuits overwhelmed by energy feedback from the unknown substance. "Captain, I'm losing contact with Drone 7, Rodriguez reported, his voice tight with frustration. "It's the 3rd one this hour. Whatever this stuff is, it doesn't like our electronics." Maya frowned, watching the drone's signal fade from the display. "Can you boost the transmission power?" "Already tried. The interference is getting worse." Rodriguez's fingers flew across his console, trying to re-establish contact. I think the material is somehow amplifying our signals and bouncing them back at us. It's like it's using our own communications against us. Dr. Vasquez looked up from her research station, where she'd been studying samples of the mysterious material. Captain, I think I know what's happening. This substance appears to be a form of crystallized quantum resonator. It's designed to store and amplify energy, but it's also incredibly sensitive to electromagnetic frequencies, meaning every time we try to communicate with our drones, we're essentially charging this material with our own signals. It's like feeding power to a battery that's already overloaded. Maya felt a chill run down her spine. Are you saying this material is dangerous? Not dangerous exactly, but unstable. And there's something else. Dr. Vasquez paused, checking her readings again. The energy patterns I'm detecting aren't random. They're structured, almost like a language. Captain, I think this material was designed by someone with technology far beyond our understanding. Commander Singh stepped forward, his hand instinctively moving to his sidearm. Captain, I recommend we cease all mining operations immediately. If this is alien technology, we need to contact Earth Command before proceeding. Maya looked at the readings on her screen. The potential value of this discovery was beyond calculation, but Singh was right. They were dealing with something beyond their understanding. Rodriguez, prepare a full report for transmission to Earth. Include all our findings and Dr. Vasquez's analysis. Commander Singh, I want your assessment of potential security risks. Already working on it, Captain. Rodriguez's voice carried a note of concern. But there's a problem. The interference from this material is affecting our main communication array. I'm getting feedback loops in the transmission matrix. Can you compensate? I'm trying, but the quantum resonance is creating some kind of amplification effect. It's like the material is trying to broadcast our signals across half the galaxy. Maya felt that chill again, stronger this time. Rodriguez, I want you to be very careful with that transmission. Make sure it's properly encrypted and directed only to Earth Command. Understood, Captain. Beginning transmission now. The misdirected message. Rodriguez worked carefully, his hands steady despite the growing concern in his voice. The communication array hummed with unusual energy. The quantum resonator material somehow feeding power into their systems. He'd set up the transmission to Earth Command with triple encryption and a narrow beam focus, but something was wrong. Captain, I'm getting some strange readings from the communication array, he reported. The signal is stronger than it should be, and I'm detecting some kind of harmonic resonance. Maya moved to look over his shoulder at the display. The transmission path showed a direct line to Earth, but there were additional traces, faint signals bouncing off into deep space. What are those secondary traces? I'm not sure. It looks like our signal is being reflected by something out there. Something big enough to bounce radio waves across star systems. Rodriguez's voice was tight with worry. Captain, I think the quantum resonator material is using our transmission as a carrier wave. It's amplifying our signal and sending it places we never intended. Dr. Vasquez rushed to her console, her face pale. Captain, if that material is designed to amplify and redirect signals, and if it's been sitting here for who knows how long, then we might have just... Just what, Doctor? We might have just activated a beacon, something that's been waiting for an electromagnetic trigger. Commander Singh stepped forward, his military training kicking in. Captain, I strongly recommend we abort the transmission immediately and prepare for emergency departure. But it was too late. The transmission had already been sent, carrying with it not just their report to Earth, but something else. The quantum resonator material had used their signal as a key, unlocking pathways through space that had been sealed for millennia. In the depths of space, in a system marked on no star charts, something ancient stirred. Rodriguez stared at his console in horror. "Captain, I'm detecting a response signal. It's coming from the Vega sector, but that's impossible. There's nothing out there but dead space." "What kind of response?" "I don't know. It's not using any communication protocol I recognize. But it's big, Captain. Really big, and it's getting stronger." Maya felt her heart pounding. "How long until it reaches us?" "Based on the signal propagation, I'd say about 6 hours. But Captain, this isn't just a radio signal. I'm detecting massive energy discharges, the kind you'd see from a fleet of warships." Dr. Vasquez's voice was barely a whisper. "Captain, what if we just woke something up? Something that was meant to stay sleeping?" The bridge fell silent, except for the hum of the ship's systems and the increasingly frantic beeping of their sensors. Maya stared at the display, watching as the response signal grew stronger, knowing that whatever was coming toward them was beyond anything humanity had ever encountered. The first, response to response, came not as a message, but as a wave of energy that made every instrument on the Harvest Moon scream warnings. Maya gripped her command chair as the ship shuddered, alarms blaring from every console. The quantum resonator material they'd been mining suddenly flared with brilliant light, its energy output spiking beyond their instruments' ability to measure. Asterisk. "Captain, we're being scanned," Rodriguez reported, his voice barely audible over the chaos. "Something's probing our ship with sensors I can't even identify. It's like nothing I've ever seen." Commander Singh was already at the tactical station, his fingers flying across the weapon's controls. "Captain, I'm detecting massive energy signatures approaching from the Vega sector. Whatever's out there, it's not friendly. Can you identify the source?" "Negative. The signatures are too large for any known ship class. Captain, I think we're looking at something the size of a space station, maybe bigger." Dr. Vasquez's voice cracked with fear. "Captain, the quantum resonator material is reacting to the scan. It's like it's trying to communicate with whatever's out there." Maya watched in horror as the mineral samples in their cargo bay began to glow with an inner light. The energy readings were off the charts, and she could feel the ship's hull vibrating with harmonics that seemed to resonate in her bones. "Rodriguez, can you shut down the communication array?" "I'm trying, Captain, but the quantum resonator is using our own systems against us. It's like it's taken control of our electronics." Through the viewports, Maya could see the asteroid field beginning to change. The rocks that contained the mysterious material were all glowing now, pulsing, with synchronized light patterns that looked almost like a language, and in the distance, growing closer with each passing moment, she could see something that made her blood run cold. It wasn't a ship. It was a structure, vast and alien, moving through space with impossible grace. Its surface was covered in what looked like weapon emplacements, but the scale was beyond anything humanity had ever built. Each gun battery was the size of a city block, and there were hundreds of them. "Commander Singh, what's our weapon status?" Singh's laugh was bitter. "Captain, our mining lasers would be like throwing pebbles at a battleship. Whatever that thing is, it's built for war on a scale we can't comprehend." The alien structure continued its approach, and Maya could see smaller shapes detaching from its hull, not ships, but projectiles, moving with mechanical precision toward the Harvest Moon. Each one was the size of a shuttle, but they moved with the single-minded purpose of guided missiles. Rodriguez, open a channel. All frequencies. Captain. I don't think open the channel, Rodriguez. Now. Rodriguez's hands shook as he activated the communication array. Channel open, Captain. Maya took a deep breath, knowing that what she said next might be the last words any human would ever speak to this alien intelligence. Unknown vessel, this is Captain Maya Chen of the Earthship Harvest Moon. We are a civilian mining operation. We mean no harm. We are willing to withdraw from this system immediately. The response was immediate and terrifying. It wasn't a voice, but a sound that seemed to come from the quantum resonator material itself, vibrating through the ship's hull and into their bones. It was a sound of judgment, of ancient anger awakened, of a verdict already rendered. And then, the firing began. The awakening, the first salvo from the alien structure, wasn't conventional weapons fire. It was something far worse, a wave of energy that seemed to unravel the very fabric of space around the Harvest Moon. Maya watched in horror as the asteroid field simply ceased to exist, the rocks dissolving into component atoms in a cascade of light that hurt to look at directly. Shields are down, Commander Singh reported, his voice steady despite the chaos. Captain, whatever they're firing at us, it's not just destroying matter. It's rewriting the fundamental laws of physics. In localized areas, Dr. Vasquez stared at her readings in disbelief. Captain, the quantum resonator material is responding to their weapons. It's like it's trying to protect us, creating some kind of energy barrier around the ship. Maya felt the ship shudder as another wave of the alien weapons struck their improvised shield. The barrier held, but she could see the strain on their systems. How long can the resonator material maintain this protection? I don't know, but it's burning through our power reserves at an incredible rate. And Captain, there's something else. The material isn't just protecting us, it's communicating with the alien structure. I think it's trying to tell them something. Rodriguez looked up from his console, his face pale. Captain, I'm detecting more signals. The quantum resonator isn't just here in this system. It's everywhere, scattered across the galaxy. And they're all waking up. What do you mean? I mean, this stuff is like a network, Captain. A communication system that spans star systems. And when we activated it here, we sent a wake-up call to the entire galaxy. The alien structure had stopped firing, but Maya could see it repositioning itself, bringing more weapons to bear. Through the bridge viewports, she could see the massive construct clearly now. It was beautiful in its terrible efficiency, a machine built for a single purpose: to guard whatever secrets lay in this dead sector of space. Commander Singh's voice cut through the tension. Captain, I'm reading massive energy buildup in their main batteries. Whatever they're preparing to fire next, it's going to be orders of magnitude more powerful than what they used on the asteroids. Maya made a decision that would haunt her for the rest of her life. Rodriguez, prepare an emergency transmission to Earth. Full data dump. Everything we've discovered about the quantum resonator material, the alien structure, everything. And make sure they know, tell them this was our fault. We woke something up that was meant to stay sleeping. Captain, the transmission will take hours to reach Earth. And if I use the quantum resonator to amplify it, do it. The rest of humanity deserves to know what's coming. Rodriguez's hands flew across his console, uploading terabytes of data into the transmission buffer. The quantum resonator material flared with brilliant light as it prepared to send their final message across the void to Earth. Maya watched the alien, Structure's weapons charged to critical levels, knowing that in moments the Harvest Moon and her crew would be nothing more than scattered atoms. But something unexpected happened. The alien structure's weapons powered down, and a new signal reached them, not the harsh judgment they'd heard before, but something that almost sounded like curiosity. The quantum resonator material in their cargo bay pulsed with gentle light, and Dr. Vasquez looked up from her console with wonder in her eyes. "Captain, I think it's trying to communicate with us. Really communicate, not just judge us." Maya felt a spark of hope. "Can you establish a translation matrix?" "I'm trying, but this is unlike anything in our databases. It's not just language, it's pure mathematics, physics, equations, concepts that exist beyond human understanding." The alien structure moved closer, and Maya could see that its weapons were no longer trained on them. Instead, scanning beams played across the Harvest Moon's hull, gentle and curious rather than threatening. "Captain," Rodriguez said softly, "I think we're about to make first contact with something that's been waiting for us for a very long time." Asterisk, the devastating reply. The translation came through in fragments. Mathematical concepts that Dr. Vasquez struggled to convert into human language, but the meaning was clear enough to chill Maya's soul. The alien intelligence, if it could be called, that had been waiting, not for humanity specifically, but for any species foolish enough to disturb the quantum resonator network. "Captain," Dr. Vasquez said, her voice trembling, "I think I understand what we're dealing with. This isn't just an alien ship. It's a guardian left behind by a civilization that died out millions of years ago. And the quantum resonator material, it's a test." "What kind of test?" "The kind that most species fail." Dr. Vasquez's readings showed the alien structure's true nature now. It wasn't just a ship, was a mobile fortress, designed to evaluate and, if necessary, eliminate any species that discovered the quantum resonator network. "Captain, the resonator material is scattered across the galaxy because it's a trap. Any species advanced enough to mine it and use it for communication automatically triggers the Guardian system." Maya felt sick. "You're saying we've doomed humanity by discovering this material?" "Not just humanity. The Guardian is already sending signals to other systems where the resonator material has been found. Captain, we may have just started a galactic war." Commander Singh's tactical display showed the true scope of the threat. "Captain, I'm detecting similar energy signatures in 12 different star systems. The Guardian network is activating across the galaxy." The alien structure's communication came through more clearly now. Its message translated into concepts that human minds could barely grasp. It spoke of evaluation, of judgment, of a galaxy-spanning system designed to prevent any species from achieving the kind of technological advancement that had destroyed its creators. "Captain," Rodriguez said, his voice hollow, "the Guardian is telling us about the previous species that found the resonator material. There have been of them over the past million years. None of them passed the test. What happened to them? They were eliminated. Completely, not just their ships or their colonies, but their entire species. The Guardians have the power to sterilize entire star systems, and they've used it before." Maya stared at the alien structure, understanding. Now that she was looking at a weapon of unimaginable power, what does it want from us? Dr. Vasquez worked frantically to establish better communication with the Guardian. "It's asking us to prove that humanity deserves to survive." "But Captain, I don't think it's talking about fighting. It's talking about wisdom. About understanding when to stop pushing forward, when to accept limitations." The Guardian's message continued, flowing through the quantum resonator network with mathematical precision. It spoke of species that had been so desperate to explore, to expand, to conquer, that they'd destroyed themselves and threatened to destroy others. The resonator material was a line in the sand, a boundary that advanced species were not meant to cross. "Captain," Commander Singh said quietly, "I think we're being given a choice. We can accept the limitations, destroy the resonator material, and return to Earth with a warning. Or we can try to fight and face the same fate as the other 47 species." Maya looked round the bridge at her crew, seeing the fear in their eyes, but also something else: determination. They were human, and humans had never been good at accepting limitations. But they were also smart enough to recognize when they were outmatched. "Rodriguez, prepare that transmission to Earth. Full details about the Guardian network, the quantum resonator material, everything. And make sure they understand this is bigger than just our discovery. This is about the survival of our entire species." But as Rodriguez prepared the transmission, the Guardian's message took on a new urgency. Other species in the galaxy had also discovered resonator material, and they were not as cautious as humans. The Guardian network was already moving to eliminate them, and the resulting energy discharges were destabilizing entire star systems. "Captain," Dr. Vasquez said, her voice filled with dread, "the Guardian is telling us that we're not the only species being tested right now. There are others, and some of them are fighting back. The galaxy is about to become a war zone." Maya realized that their small mining operation had accidentally triggered something that would reshape the entire galaxy. The Guardians weren't just testing humanity, they were testing every species that had reached a certain level of technological advancement. And the results of those tests would determine which civilizations survived to see tomorrow. The warning transmission. Maya stood at the center of the bridge, watching as Rodriguez prepared their final transmission to Earth. The Guardian structure hung in space before them, no longer threatening but somehow more terrifying in its patience. She knew that what they sent now would determine not just the fate of their mining operation, but the future of human civilization. "Rodriguez, I want you to encrypt this transmission with the highest level security protocols we have," she ordered. "And I want multiple copies sent through different relay networks. This message has to reach Earth Command, no matter what." Rodriguez nodded, his hands steady despite the magnitude of their situation. "Captain, the quantum resonator material is stable enough to carry the transmission, but using it will alert the Guardian network to our exact location. If Earth decides to send a rescue mission, they'll be flying into a trap," Maya finished. "I know, but they need to understand what we've discovered." Dr. Vasquez looked up from her console, where she'd been monitoring the Guardian's communication patterns. "Captain, I'm detecting signals from other parts of the galaxy. The Guardian network is active in at least 20 star systems now. Whatever we triggered, it's spreading." Maya took a deep breath and activated the recording system. "This is Captain Maya Chen of the mining vessel Harvest Moon, transmitting emergency message to Earth Command. Classification level, Omega Black. Do not, under any circumstances, attempt to rescue our crew or investigate our last known coordinates." She paused, looking at her crew. They were good people, men and women, who'd signed up for a routine mining operation and found themselves at the center of a galactic crisis. "We have made contact with an alien intelligence of vast power and unknown intentions. The quantum resonator material we discovered is not just a mineral, it's a component of a galaxy-spanning communication and defense network, left behind by a dead civilization. Rodriguez monitored the transmission strength, ensuring that every word was being recorded clearly. The Guardian structure remained motionless, but Maya could feel its attention focused on them, listening to every word. This network serves as a test for emerging civilizations, Maya continued. Any species that discovers and attempts to use the resonator material triggers an automatic response from Guardian constructs. These Guardians have already eliminated 47 species over the past million years. They are not negotiating. They are not interested in diplomacy. They are evaluating whether humanity deserves to survive. Commander Singh stepped forward, adding his military assessment. Earth Command, the Guardian constructs possess weapons technology beyond our current understanding. They can disintegrate matter at the quantum level and appear to have faster-than-light travel capabilities. Any conventional military response would be futile. Dr. Vasquez's voice joined the transmission. The resonator material exists throughout the galaxy, and the Guardian network is activating everywhere it's been discovered. We believe multiple species are being tested simultaneously. The outcomes of these tests will determine the future balance of power in the galaxy. Maya felt the weight of history pressing down on her. Earth Command, I'm transmitting all our data about the Guardian network, the quantum resonator material, and the alien intelligence we've encountered. Use this information to prepare humanity for what's coming. And remember, this is not a war we can win through force. The transmission was nearly complete when the Guardian structure suddenly changed. Its weapons arrays began to rotate, not toward the harvest moon, but toward distant stars. Dr. Vasquez's console lit up with warnings as massive energy discharges began emanating from the Guardian network across the galaxy. Captain, Rodriguez said, his voice tight with fear, the Guardian network is going active. I'm detecting weapons fire in multiple star systems. The tests have begun. Maya looked at her crew one last time. They were about to witness the reshaping of the galaxy, and they were the only humans who truly understood what was happening. Rodriguez, add this to the transmission. Whatever decisions Earth makes in response to our discovery, remember that we chose to explore. We chose to reach out. We chose to push boundaries. That's what makes us human, but sometimes the universe pushes back. The transmission ended, and Maya watched as it raced through space toward Earth, carrying with it humanity's first and possibly last message about the Guardians. Behind them, the Guardian structure began to move, heading toward another star system where the resonator material had been discovered. The test had begun, and humanity's future hung in the balance as the harvest moon drifted alone in the asteroid field. Maya realized that they were no longer just miners or explorers. They were witnesses to the moment when humanity learned it was not alone in the universe and that the universe had very definite opinions about who deserved to survive. The Guardian disappeared into the darkness between stars, leaving behind only questions and the terrible knowledge that somewhere out there, other species were facing the same judgment that awaited humanity. And Maya Chen, mining ship captain turned accidental ambassador, could only hope that the message they'd sent would reach Earth in time to make a difference in the silence that followed. Dr. Vasquez detected one final signal from the Guardian. Network coordinates pointing toward Earth. The test was coming home. Asterisk.